ahead, laugh it up, Brazil. Looks like you're having loads of fun living in the southern hemisphere. I guess you guys are too busy kicking balls into nets to realize you're upside down.
Kick off.
In the same way gravity makes Brazilians and everyone else on the wrong side of the equator look less foolish, multiplayer helps keep the feet of the otherwise upside-down Super Sidekicks planted firmly on the ground. Released to the Neo Geo in 1992, Super Sidekicks is a simple game of arcade-style soccer, or football as it's known in most parts of the world. The game is essentially an international tournament featuring 12 countries, and understandably, Super Sidekicks discriminates between potential entrants based on their comprehension of gravity. The teams in Super Sidekicks are split into two groups, and depending on which team you choose, you play through one of those brackets to reach the winner of the opposing bracket in the SNK Cup Final. In terms of single-player options, there's also a single-game exhibition, but that's about all there is to Super Sidekicks. As one would expect from an arcade-style sports game, the controls in Super Sidekicks are as simple as the modes. The game uses only two buttons. One passes and the other shoots, and if you're playing defense, one slides to steal the ball and the other tackles. Super Sidekicks is very easy to play, and that's one of the game's biggest draws. Along with these intense and hilariously stereotypical character portraits, I bet you the American's name is Biff. Each team features a different player formation, which I assumed would be the only difference between them. But when Brazil torched me for 7 goals, I had to rethink that a little bit. Either some teams have better players than others, or I'm just terrible at Super Sidekicks. Now, the gameplay does feel a little stiff, but it's really not bad. In fact, the game has aged surprisingly well, and it plays like a very competent game of arcade soccer. But as with many arcade sports games, the thinness of the package doesn't make for a very compelling single-player experience. The real draw of Super Sidekicks is the game's multiplayer. You can play locally with a friend, and this PSN re-release also includes online multiplayer. Super Sidekicks spawned a bunch of sequels on the Neo Geo, each of which improved on the formula. Hoping for a PSN release of its sequels is perhaps reason enough to pass on this one, but Super Sidekicks has aged better than I expected. At least in multiplayer, this is a solid game of arcade soccer, and especially for fans of the genre who have friends to play with, Super Sidekicks is at least worth a look.